Yo, 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 yo. What up, what up, what up? Alright, let me get this stuff situated here. Alright, I got some announcements today. How we doing this Sunday? Mic check. Can y'all hear me? Alright, we got viewers already in here. What's up? Happy Sunday, happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. Alright, first I gotta go live here. We gonna dive into it. Alright, I know y'all have been, everybody's heard about it, but today we're talking about some of the relief in California. So I know you guys have seen all the stuff that's going on. So I want to give y'all some updates. Go live here. How we doing though? Let me know in the comments how y'all doing. The point of joining the live is for y'all to communicate. Okay? It's to engage. Okay, that's what it's for. Okay, we got some people on YouTube. Alright, so today we're gonna be talking about some tax relief that could potentially benefit you, especially if you live out in California. Okay, so let's do this. Alright, just wanted to do one more thing for TikTok, and then we are Gucci. Y'all can hear me though, right? Check, check. Alright, we Gucci. Oh. I'm gonna go here with it. Alright. Put me in a frame. You gotta make sure I see the comments too. Make sure I have y'all comments ready to go. Alright, anybody from California in the chat? That's what I want to know. Anybody out in California in the chat? My Californians at? My Californians. Yes. Okay. All right, so let's get rolling. I'm not gonna be here too long. I just wanted to give you guys a quick update here. So there's been some really important updates from the IRS as far as tax updates goes. I heard that comment. I gotta know where that's coming from. All right, there we go. It's coming from IG. But yes, so we got some important IRS tax updates for the California wildfire victims. So I want to talk through some of those updates. Okay, so first and foremost, before I even dive into anything, if you live out in California, like I just want to acknowledge, I know a lot of you guys have already heard of it, but I just want to acknowledge the tragedy that's going out there with the recent wildfires, and I from what I've heard, it's still actually happening. But my heart goes out to your families, and your communities. I know a lot of you are probably already heard it multiple times, but I'm hoping what I'm going to talk about today is going to be able to maybe add some, maybe some a little bit of relief from what the IRS perspective has been able to take. So today, what I'm going to be talking about are some important IRS updates, okay, that really could bring some relief to individuals, businesses, or really those two individuals, businesses in the California area who were affected by the wildfires. Okay, So I think it was like 2 days ago, the IRS had announced that they extended deadlines for filing taxes, and then there's possibly some benefits that you can actually have by going through these tough times. So I want to talk a little bit more about, really I want to simple it down, because I think a lot of times we get a lot of stuff from the IRS and it can be very complex. So I want to keep it simple, as simple as I possibly can. Okay. So first things first, and I got some notes here. First things first is I want to talk about the extended deadlines. Okay, so the first things first is the extended deadlines for the ones out there in California. So if you run a business in areas of California that were affected by the wildfires, the IRS has given you extra time to file your taxes, right? And make those payments. So normally taxes are due in April 15th, okay? But now, if you own a business and you are affected by these wildfires, you have until October 15th of 2025 to get everything done. Okay, so they gave you that filing extension to be able to get it done. Now, you're probably thinking, okay, well, who does this actually apply? What does this actually apply to? So first thing this it applies to is your personal tax returns, right? So your personal tax returns that have to be filed, that's what it applies to. It also applies to your business tax returns, right? So personal tax returns, business tax returns. And then your payments that were typically due, that are originally due between January 7th and then October 15th of 2025, those also you have some extra room. Okay, so any payments that that were due between January 7th of 2025 or October 15th, you have an extension. Okay, so let me give you an example. Let's just say you're supposed to make an estimated tax payment. So estimated tax payments are things that happen. Um so estimated tax payments anywhere. What's up, accountant? The accountant Bay, what's up? Um, so let's just say you're supposed to make an estimated tax payment on April 15th or June 16th this year. Okay. If you don't have to worry about it if you're affected by the wildfires. Okay, you have until October 15th of 2025 to make sure. They want to make sure that you're able to recover. They may want to make sure that you're rebuilding. So you don't if you have any estimated tax payments, tax returns, you have until October 15th of 2025. Okay, hope that makes sense. Okay, we good? All right. Okay, cool. Now the next thing is you can claim losses from the wildfire damage. Okay, so you can claim losses from the wildfire damage. So what does this actually mean? So if you lost property in the wildfires, like your home, your car, or any belongings, you could be able to claim losses on your taxes. Okay, so the IRS will they'll let you decide whether you want to claim these losses for this, for the year in the disaster that happened or the year before. Okay, so you being able to claim the losses from your vehicle, from your house that was damaged, or any belongings, right? I think this is a game changer. I'm really, really, super excited that the IRS did this. But you can earn that money back, and this could lower your tax bill by being able to deduct a lot of these expenses. Okay, now you're probably thinking, okay, well, okay, how do I actually claim these losses? How do I claim these losses? Okay, so I got some notes for you. Okay, if you've got a pen and paper, some things that you may want to jot down. Okay, so if you want to claim these losses, there's a few forms that you're going to need to fill out. So the first thing is you're gonna have to fill out form 4684. Okay, so form 4684. This is how you're gonna be able to claim the losses from your house, from your car, from all these different expenses if you are impacted by the wildfires. Okay, so form 4684. You'll also need to include FEMA disaster a FEMA disaster number. Okay, so the FEMA disaster number is 4856. I appreciate that. 4856-DR. You're gonna have to also include that on your tax return. Okay, so if you're deducting these losses, so that's a very, very important form to have if you're going to be claiming these deductions if you're impacted. Okay, now if you're not sure how to do this, I highly recommend, go find a tax professional, find somebody who, a CPA, an enrolled agent, somebody who understands the tax code and these disaster relief programs to be able to implement them on your tax return. And if you've been impacted by this tragedy, and your accountant or whoever it does your taxes, please don't do it on your own if you're not as confident in being able to claim all the deductions. Okay, make sure that you find somebody who knows what they're doing and is confident in actually following them. And if you know somebody who doesn't want to do it per se, I would recommend fire him, right? Fire fire that person who doesn't necessarily want to be able to help you accomplish that, because there's money that is going to be left on the table that's going to lower your tax liability and help you get a bigger refund and maximize your refund. Okay, so that's section 2. So I think this is the last session. I have a couple. Okay, so the next session is actually going to be additional help that the IRS is providing. So they're gonna you got to think about it. If you're in a wildfire, chances are you probably lost some important documents. You probably lost, if you probably had your tax return in the house. Um, my garage door shut on my car. Can I? No. Well, if you're in California, you might be able to. No, we're doing things legally and ethically here. But yes, so if if you're impacted by the wildfire and you had your tax returns, you had a lot of documents that unfortunately were burned, like they were lost during that disaster, old tax returns that you would typically need that were now burned in the fire, or burned in whatever the case may be. The IRS is going to be able to give you free copies of to actually help you with the insurance claims, because you're probably going to need to file those insurance claims. So the IRS is going to be able to provide you that, so you can be able to help you in that recovery stage. Okay. But here's another form that you're going to need. You're going to need to fill out form 4506 or form 4506-T. Okay, and you're going to need to include the FEMA number at the top. Okay, that FEMA number that we gave before. Okay, if you have any questions, make sure just shoot me a DM, and I'll provide you the articles and all the different stuff that you may need for this. Okay, um, and there's some other benefits that you know. Okay, so there's also going to be some help for people with retirement accounts. Okay, so if you have a retirement account, for example, let's say you need to withdraw money early, right? So you've been impacted by the wildfires, you need to withdraw money early, and you would normally have to pay the usual 10% penalty. Okay, so now you can even spread out the income from that withdrawal over 3 years. Okay, so this is game changer. Okay, so you can spread out your income of that withdrawal over 3 years, because normally you'd be getting charged at 10%. Okay. Um, and I think that was those are the main three things. Those are the biggest things that I thought were like super super valuable, that the IRS was able to provide. Just a lot of different relief from being able to deduct a lot of the expenses that is happening, being able to offer support to show which forms need to be able to be filled out, and then giving you that extra time to be able to file your taxes. I thought it was super big. So again, I know that it's really hard, for a lot of people who are dealing with the wildfires, and from what I heard a couple days ago, it's still happening. I know it's hard. Okay. And this isn't just about taxes. Okay, I know the title. I'm talking about the wildfires and the tax relief, but this isn't just about tax. This isn't just about taxes. It's about figuring out truly how to move forward after this disaster. I think most people, I'm in Ohio, so I can't relate necessarily in that aspect, except for cold, crazy weather. But I was talking to my wife, and she was, talking about these different areas on, where we would live, and how there's so many different areas that are, go have their own, weather issues and all these different things. But I just, at the end of the day, I just think we really need to just think more so about the overall financial aspect of what we're trying to accomplish. And in making sure we're doing our due diligence to be able to, it's not a lack of information. The information is out there. It's a lack of, one, the proper information, because there's a lot of stuff on TikTok, there's a lot of stuff on Instagram and social media. But we have to make sure we're doing our due diligence, getting the right information, so we can be able to maximize a lot of maximize the tax returns, get the money that you already deserve. Right, the IRS is giving you the opportunity, giving you an extension, so you have enough time to be able to figure those things out. So I just recommend find the right professional. Okay, and if you need help, there's actually a number for that you could call for at the IRS as a disaster number. So it's the IRS disaster hotline, which is going to be at 866 562-5227. Okay. And you can connect with a tax professional there, or you can, if you have any questions as far as like, how to go about this, how to get started, how to be able to, prepare for that. What's that end goal look like? Feel free to go to imaccountingllc.com. I'm going to be releasing a couple articles regarding these updates and the disaster relief. So make sure you're on the watch out for that. But again, if you guys know people who are out in California, like reach out. Make sure you're giving your condolences. I know I'm gonna check with actually one of my buddies, whose family's out there as well. Just making sure that they're taken care of, right? And if you could give. If you could give, if you could support, give. I know you guys saw the commercials. I know you saw the commercials. I know you're seeing all these different things. So it's good to say, oh, my condolences, but let's be supporters. Let's actually support. Let's be a part of actually helping others, right? Let's actually give back to the ones who are actually struggling, because a lot of people have lost their homes. They've really been impacted by this, and yes, the IRS has given us different reliefs. They're giving them different reliefs and whatnot. But there's it's free to be able to actually reach out, right? To actually be able to help and give, willingly, right? So, any questions? Any questions? I know that was a lot, but really at the end of the day, the biggest thing on what I talked about you get, if you're impacted by wildfires, you get extensions. You can write off things, and that there's a couple forms that you need to fill out to make sure you file the proper tax return. Okay. Any questions? All right, I'm live on TikTok. Okay. Well, be on the lookout, because I want to just give a quick update. Be on the lookout. There's gonna be go to imaccountingllc.com, and I'm gonna be dropping a article on this. That way, you guys can be able to research, do your due diligence. If you're impacted, or better yet, if you know somebody who was impacted by the wildfires, you can forward it over to them. All right. Until next time, I will see y'all on the other side. Oh, wrong one.